Hello everyone, I'm the Galactic Geek and welcome to my comparison of two very interesting battle packs, and I'm glad that LEGO has remade them. On the left we have the 2019. I'm currently accurate with my information. We have the 2019 Imperial Stormtrooper Battle Pack, which was a remake of the 2007 version of the same thing. And this is the 2007 Imperial Stormtrooper Battle Pack. What is different, though, is this is a 20th anniversary set, while this was the first of its kind. And in this set, we will take a look at a comparison of each minifigure, and then I will give my my rating of this set. Personally, I think this is one of the better battle packs that LEGO has made, but I'll get more into it in the review. Let's compare the minifigs. The first figure we're going to review is the Imperial Stormtrooper that comes with the set. They are fairly basic, the design has changed a bit over the years, mainly with the back, but as you can see in the back printing, it's actually not too different. This one is a bit more refined, but other than that, it has stayed fairly the same. White arms, black hands, black, I guess you would say, belts type piece. And then everything else is white, but you can see the detail has changed quite a bit. This is more of the nostalgic version, while this is the newer one. And as you can see in the newer one, there's actually black on the inside of the helmet. This is what we call a dual molded piece. This means there are two plastics that are molded to become the same piece. And while I have the helmet off, you can see that on the 2019 version, we have the angry clone face, but on the 2007 version, we just have a black stud. I honestly prefer this one, and the reason why is that when you have it like this, you cannot tell. It looks like there's the glove underneath that all Imperial troopers are supposed to wear. But when you put the newer helmets on, you might be able to see it. Not sure with this lighting, if you will, but you can very slightly tell that there is a there's a blank head under there, which should not be the case. It should be all black and white. That's just according to the lore. But, I'm a stickler for the lore. And yeah, so I personally like the printing of the 2019 Trooper better, but the helmet of the 2007 Trooper better. So if we were to exchange those, there we go. Perfect Trooper. Alright, let's move on to the Shadow Troopers. And here we have the two Shadow Troopers of the set. On the left, once again, we have 2019. On the right, we have 2007. Like I said, the design has not changed too terribly much. It is still a very cool trooper to own, and I'm glad that I have both sets so that I can do this comparison. But what's interesting is that this one here is more of a bluish gray. You can especially see that. That trooper just went flying. You can see it especially on the helmet here. These markings there are more blue than they are gray. And that gives a very strange appearance to the Shadow Trooper. However, on the 2019 version, it is just very gray. It is very menacing. It does not have those silver eyes, nor does it have that silver, or more... standing out silver than it does in the 2007 version. This one is very much more, I'm going to use the term shadowy, because that's the only term I can think of. But they are both very nice troopers, especially for what happened in 2007, but I like the leg printing, I like everything. I think I actually prefer the entire 2019 trooper better than I do the 2007 one. That is just my thoughts. So let's get on to my overall view of the set. So I actually forgot to review one minifig, and that is the Han Solo, a vintage minifig that comes with the set. He does come with his kind of vintage blaster here. The entire stand is falling apart. He does kind of come with that vintage blaster, and his arms are very stiff. He does come with that kind of vintage I can't think of the name. But he does come with that vintage looking blaster. I take that off just so you can see a bit more of the detail. It does come with those like blue legs, very reminiscent of the early Han Solo days. The torso, interestingly enough, has not changed too terribly much. If I bring over the figure from 2007, that's very interesting that the colors have not changed. Literally, it's just the colors that have changed. They've kept everything the same. So that is very interesting to see. Obviously, the one on the left is recreation. They may have done that to kind of show that, but I have a feeling that that is not a coincidence that they kept it the same. It's very easy just to reprint. And on the back, we have 20 years of Lego Star Wars. It's a very nice piece. I don't know. I think these figures are going to become a bit of money in the future, which will be nice if you own some of these figures. But yeah, so let's get on to my review of the actual set now. We will start off with the 2007 Battle Pack. See here, we'll get the minifigs out of the way, but here we have the Imperial Dropship. Had a nice opening feature, but one problem with this is that even as I'm moving it, the windshield piece comes off. They fixed this in 2019, but for the era, that's kind of a common feature, that these pieces like this would come off very easily. But yeah, so we have places to hold blasters. If I'm to get one of the blasters here and just put it on there, you could store all 4 troopers' blasters in there. And by the way, this is the cockpit. You could place a trooper in there. Not really much in there, but it does its purpose. Back here we have the wings with the Imperial logos on each side of the ship. Some red blaster points on the front. And then the feature of this set is that this part back here, I guess these bits here are the engines, but if you were to actually lift these up, there's this platform underneath that you could slide out and it could drop off troops and then fly away. The one problem I have with this contraption back in 2007 is that if you were to pick it up, it is it does not stay in one place. They also fixed that in 2020, but I will get more into that when we overview the 2020. But this is a very interesting color scheme because it's also reminiscent of the area because it's this bright blue. And nowhere in any of the movies do we see any Imperial ship having bright blue, because that was Lego's way of kind of making it kid-friendly. I never got why they put bright blue as part of the Sith? Return of the Sith? Revenge of the Sith? What? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know why they put that there. But still, very cool battle pack to have. And another cool feature about this one, as compared to the 2019 version, is that you could place all 4 troops on this little landing pad. You could place another here, another here, another here, and you could possibly fit one on the back if you wanted to, which was very cool to see, that you could actually place all the troopers there. But then again, who would pilot? I guess, you know, if you had other sets at the time, you could get like an Imperial pilot or something to actually pilot this thing away. But yes, very cool set. Very glad I was finally able to pick it up. But now let's get on to the 2019 version. 2019 saw a good bit of an upgrade from 2007, especially with the added minifigure, but we'll get on to that. One of the major changes was that the Imperial Stormtroopers now had stud shooters instead of the regular blasters. These stud shooters have caused a lot of controversy in the LEGO community, and I'm one of the people who does not like them. They are not a good blaster, especially for display or stop motion, unless I have been able to do this with a few weapons. Unless you can somehow mod these weapons and add pieces to them to make them look like actual weapons that belong in the Star Wars universe. These are bulky, and yes, the argument is valid that these LEGO is in fact made for kids, and that by pressing these, you can make the studs go flying. But that makes a bunch of cleanup, because then you have to find studs, and never, oh my goodness, I would never want to play with these in the carpet because they would get lost so easily. But that's besides the point. I'm not talking about the minifigures, but that is one of the critiques I have for the 2019 version. We'll get on to the actual dropship in a second. But also, let's look at Han Solo. So what's nice about Han Solo is that you get this nice base with him. And yes, this is a printed piece, 1999 to 2019, 20 years of LEGO Star Wars, and then Han Solo. So that was a very nice piece. I cannot English, but what was also interesting was that you could connect him to the other sets from that wave. So you had a snowspeeder that was replicating the either 1999 or 2004 Snowspeeder. You had the Slave 1, you had the ATRT, which was a completely new set, but it was supposed to be a remake of a 2005 set. And then you had Anakin's Pod Racer, which was a remake of the 1999. And each of them came with their own vintage minifig. And you could link them all up. So there was vintage Luke Skywalker, Lando Calrissian, Princess Leia, Han Solo, and then Darth Vader. I can see why they didn't add Chewie, to be honest. But so you got those figures, and you could line them up to have your nice little own display. I only got this battle pack, but I am very glad I did because I think Han Solo is the coolest of them. But let's not talk about Han Solo because his arrogance will get in the way of this review. Let's look on to the dropship. So we have this dropship. As you can see, I'll pull the other one over simply so you can see what they're like next to each other. Major upgrade. We got a new windshield piece, which fixed the old one. Now it just very fluidly doesn't come off because they have these pieces here that move it instead of just having this one piece at the front that can come off very easily. You got a nice little control panel, more streamlined seating in there. Very 2019, which was very nice. These are, I think these were new wing panels, which looked gorgeous. And also, dark blue, much better. I mean, it's still blue, but it's not bright blue. I mean, look at that color difference. This looks much more Imperial than this. However, I will be using them both in a stop motion at some point. So this back here was also refined. You could still lift this up, detach the little platform on the bottom, and then fly it away. The problem I have with this, though, and I'll once again show the 2007 version side by side. If anyone notices the difference, let me know. I'll tell you the difference. This one literally has room for only 3 minifigs. This one you can fit probably 5. That is a huge downgrade. And yes, it's supposed to come with the battle pack, and there's supposed to be, for the play feature, 3 stormtroopers sitting back here, and then the shadow trooper is flying it. But if you got multiple of these, and that's another thing I'll get to in a second, but if you got multiple of them, you couldn't get more stormtroopers on there. You only had the limited 3. I mean, I guess you try and fit them on these studs right here, but, you know, it's not going to work that well. And here is the problem with modern battle packs. Very few battle packs these days come with the phrase build your army, and that was the original theme of battle packs. You could buy them in bulk and you could build your army. You would have multiple stormtroopers, multiple shadow troopers, but who wants multiple 20th anniversary Han Solos? I mean, I guess that's a bonus if you want to sell it with the base plate in a few years, but who wants to have those just lying around? You'd have to keep track of them, and you're probably not going to because you don't really care at the time about that figure. So that's value possibly going to waste, plus that's another minifigure that I have to debate, which is why this set was $20 when this was $10. That price has doubled over the past few years, which I think is actually insane. But anyways, let's get on to my final overlook. In my opinion, this is one of the greatest battle packs of all time. You get a brilliant Imperial set over here, another brilliant but slightly less so set over here. So what is my comparison of these sets? Well, this is kind of a comparison and review because I didn't want to make separate videos for each of these. For this one, I give it a 7 out of 10. Those stud shooters, an 8 out of 10. Sorry. Those stud shooters are take a little bit off this set, but overall I do like the design better. Plus Han Solo is a nice added bonus. For this set, 7 out of 10. This one, that bright blue color scheme is just very strange. And that Shadow Trooper, oof, it does show with age. But I like that you get 3 Stormtroopers with actual blasters versus stud shooters. Also, another critique I have of this set is that these helmets, if you look at them almost head on, they are very strange. And they don't look like regular Stormtrooper helmets. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of these helmets down in the comments below. And let me know what you think of stud shooters. But honestly, now which do I like more? I honestly, genuinely think that I like the 2007 version better. It is just that I think nostalgia is also playing a big role in this. It's just, it looks cool. The older Stormtroopers are really neat to see. It does have a bigger landing plate, I guess is what you would call it, for the Imperial Stormtroopers to be on. That Shadow Trooper does show with age, but it's nice that you actually get real blasters. I would sacrifice this upgraded version and that 20th anniversary Han Solo for this set any day. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who've been wondering, yes, there is an AT-ST in the background. Why is there an AT-ST in the background? Because you guys should check out my Battle of Endor review, which just came out a few days ago. It is a fantastic review, and yes, I do have a model train sitting right here. Don't ask questions. But it is a fantastic review, possibly the greatest LEGO set of all time that I have ever built. So everyone, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more LEGO Star Wars content. I've got more coming. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everyone.